Hey guys, what's up? TechFlash here. So, the Pixel 6 has finally been announced and it had a launch unlike any other phone I can remember, with Google revealing just about every facet of the device over the past few months. Pair that with the excessive number of leaks, including all that Google itself had just given us, and there's very little we didn't know about this phone ahead of the release. But now that the phone has finally arrived, let's talk about first impressions. Sporting a new look, a chip designed to Google's specs, and a completely new camera sensor, plus a very tempting price, the search engine's giant phone might be onto something here. Perhaps the most interesting part of the Pixel 6 is the new chipset. Instead of the usual Qualcomm chip you'd typically find in a Pixel phone or any other Android handset for that matter, the Pixel 6 is powered by Google's own Tensor Silicon, which based off of rumors is a rebranded Samsung chip because it is so similar to one of the Exynos chips. However, it also features a number of elements that Google has been refining over the years, including AI and machine learning. Tensor should give Google more control over the phone, and it's likely one of the reasons that they are now promising a minimum of 5 years of security updates. Paired with the Tensor is also the Titan M2 coprocessor, which covers all the security aspects of the phone. Tensor appears to be an impressive chip, although we'll need to spend a bit more time with the phone to evaluate its performance next to other devices. More importantly, it will be interesting to see how the chip impacts other aspects of the phone's performance, such as the camera processing. And the majority of phones these days, even the best mid-range phones and best cheap ones, will be more than fast enough for most people. It's how they use the chip skill in other areas that will determine how good they are in use. The Pixel 6 comes with 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs or 256 gigs of storage, and the 6 Pro comes with 12 gigs of RAM and also options starting with 128, 256 and an additional 512 gigs of storage, which is not expandable through a micro SD card. When it comes to the battery, both the Pixel 6 and the 6 Pro have very decent batteries, with the Pixel 6 having a 46,000 mAh battery and the 6 Pro having a 5,000 mAh capacity. Design-wise, when Google first unveiled the Pixel 6 in August, I was surprised at how different it looked from other Pixel phones. From a number of angles, it also looked very much like a Samsung phone, but flip it over and the distinctive Cyclops visor on the back makes it out from the crowd. Both of the models come with a glossy back, which are immediately going to put a ton of fingerprint marks. The side of the Pixel 6 has this matte finish to it due to the aluminum frame. The Pixel 6 Pro has a stainless steel frame, and it is not actually as shiny or prone to fingerprints as the frame that you would see on an iPhone. One odd design which I found to be kind of annoying as well was the positioning of the volume keys, which sits immediately below the power buttons, and I can only imagine that we would all have problems with hitting the volume keys instead of the power button countless times. Having said that, the Pixel 6 nevertheless is an attractive phone in its own unique way, and also it comes with IP68 rating, which makes the phone dust and water resistant. The screen on both the models is pretty good, but if you want the very best display, you should probably go for the Pro model. The Pixel 6 has a 6.4-inch HDR OLED panel with an in-display fingerprint scanner, which is the first time that we're seeing this on a Pixel phone, a refresh rate that can switch between 60 and 90, and a 1080p resolution. The Pro comes with a 6.7-inch slightly curved QHD display that stretches right to the edges of the phone. Google also says it has an adaptive screen refresh rate that dynamically adjusts between 10 and 120 Hz depending on what you're doing. When it comes to the camera, the Pixel 6 features 2 cameras on its back, a 50 megapixel main camera and a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. The Pixel 6 Pro adds a third camera to this, a 48 megapixel telephoto with 4 times optical zoom and 20 times digital zoom. There are new software abilities for the new cameras as well. Google has introduced a new magic eraser to help eliminate unwanted parts of photos, a motion mode for long exposure and action shots, and face unblur to help bring definition to people's faces that the camera didn't quite pick up. Finally, talking about the price, the Pixel 6 Pro, which starts at $899, earns its name compared to the basic Pixel 6 with an extra rear camera, a larger display, a bigger battery, and more memory. It's got plenty of hardware that will allow it to go toe-to-toe with Samsung and Apple's latest phones. But is the Pro model worth an extra $300 compared to the regular price of the 6's $599 price? With both phones, you get the same powerful Tensor processor processor, helpful software and image processing ability. So I guess it will all come down to how much you're willing to pay for a larger 120Hz display, a telephoto zoom camera, and a bigger battery. Anyways guys, that is pretty much it on the Pixel. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Pixel 6 and if you are considering buying one. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.